Hello everyone, and this is BioPhoenix here, and today we're going to be doing another top 10 list on video game music, and this time it's going to be on my favorite PC-98 soundtracks. And I have to say, the PC-98 has a sound chip that sounds really cool. It kind of reminds me of the Sega Genesis almost. Now I have to say this before we begin the countdown, is that I am going to be a little bit lazy with the commentary on this one, and that's mainly because a lot of these games are ones that are kind of hard to play without actually knowing Japanese. So therefore, there's really not a whole lot that I can say about each game, so I'm going to just keep it minimal. So with that said, now let's begin the list. So at number 10, we have Metal and Lace 2. So this is a fighting game with females and mechs. And yeah, you guessed it, it has hentai material, although I haven't reviewed this one yet, but maybe I will in the future though. But as you would expect, I really do love the way it looks, and of course the way it sounds. It's just freaking awesome. And as for number 9, we have Princess Maker 2. So this is an RPG where you gotta raise a kid with using some simulation elements, but of course there is many like RPG battles you gotta do as well. And interesting enough, this game is actually available on Steam in English, and it still has the exact same graphics, which is pretty cool. But I really have to say, that battle theme is really what makes this OST so damn awesome. And at number 8, we have Virgin Angel. So with a title like that, yeah, you can expect that this is another hentai game. So it's a visual novel that I obviously can't really play, but it's a futuristic cyberpunk setting, which is always awesome, and I just freaking love the border of this one. It has like circuit boards, bullets, and drugs. It's pretty rad. So for number 7, we have Mime, and no, there is no mimes in this game, at least as far as I know. But weird name aside though, I don't really have much to say about this one other than that it's a fantasy style RPG. And for number 6, we have Ground Seed. So this is a game I actually talked about fairly recently in my Games I Wish Got Fan Translated Part 4. But in case you haven't seen that video, it's pretty much another RPG that just looks really freaking cool looking, and of course just has a fantastic soundtrack. And for number 5, we have Possessioner. So this one is also a visual novel that takes place in a cyberpunk setting, but this one also has more like point and click elements too. So in a lot of ways, it's kind of like Snatcher, but with like a bunch of chicks in it. And yes, it also includes a lot of snatches as well. So as for number 4, we have Misty Blue. So this one is actually a more mystery-themed adventure game, and weirdly enough, this one was actually published by Enix. And apparently it's about musicians, and it also happens to have the word blue in the title, so I just can't help but think of the anime movie Perfect Blue. And as for number 3, we have Dinosaur. So this is another one that I've talked about many times in the past, saying that it's a game that I really wish I could play for that it looks interesting, and of course, it's actually a Neon Falcom game. So of knowing that, the music in this game just has to be amazing, and well, it fucking is. And I have to say this every time, but unfortunately, there is no dinosaurs within the game Dinosaur. Like, wow, what a missed opportunity. And as for number 2, we have Because, it's called Well, with all jokes aside, apparently this game back in the day was actually very popular and was reviewed very well. It even got releases on a bunch of different systems. In fact, recently, as I'm sure as you know, the game actually got a remake and we actually did get it outside of Japan. And it is one I have been wanting to check out for that it does seem like a pretty interesting game, but just a minor thing for me is that I'm kinda not really a fan of the new art style. I mean, it doesn't look butt ugly, but I just prefer the original one like a bajillion times more. And of course, I'm not going to be an elitist about it and saying how, like, the game sucks without playing it just because I don't like the way it looks. But nah, fuck that elitism bullshit. I still want to play the game, it's just not a huge priority right now. But yes, this OST is highly recommended. before we go to the number 1 spot, let's mention some honorable mentions. So we have Escape, and then there's Last Guardian 2. Yeah, not to be confused with the other Last Guardian from Team Eco. Moonlight Energy 2, Tatsugeki Mix, Valkyrie the Power Beauties, which I have reviewed, and of course I have to mention the Toho games. And now moving on to the number 1 spot, and that happens to be Rusty. I mean, was anyone surprised? It's pretty much a Castlevania game on the PC-98, so of course the music in it is going to be fucking great. So that sums up my favorite PC-98 soundtracks. So anyone else out there knows any soundtracks on the PC-98 that I did not mention that are like really awesome? So as always, more than welcome to suggest some. And of course, I am going to be doing more top 10 lists on video game music. So with that said, thanks for watching and commenting, and have yourselves a great day.